And that means it's Festool Friday, so I think this is Festool Live. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Woo! I got a great announcement to make today. But right over here is Big D. Let's announce the room. Behind the camera, we have Chris, the unit Cybert. Over here, back from her world tour, is Min Min.
Sorry I missed you, Michael.
By the way, there's a place in, was it Paris? That's called, in Paris, and it's called Min Min. She sent me a photo. It was on your Instagram, wasn't it?
It was.
It was adorable. Okay, Minnie's back in. We got a good printer on the board. I can read everything. I know you're watching, Mr. Sato. Okay, hey, we also have online, we have Brent Shively. What else do I got to announce? Happy Cinco de Mayo. It's Cinco de Mayo, right? Because it is May 5th. Correct. Excellent. Hey, I have a very close friend in Maine, and I wanted to reach out and wish him a happy birthday. Everybody in this room knows Hank, the donut guy, foreman from Ocean Park, Maine. It's the OP of Maine. Happy, I can't believe it. He doesn't look it.
Oh, no, he doesn't.
Hank, you are a rare breed.
Living right.
Happy birthday. It's his 70th birthday today.
Happy birthday.
Woo! Happy birthday, Hank! All right, so today's episode is episode 135. And I woke up in the middle of the night about a week ago. And I said, what can I do Festool Live coming up? I'm just kidding. This is derived from a bunch of different trainings over the years we have done, where I show something on the tool and somebody goes, aha! We call it top system tips, and it's going to turn into kind of like lost in the catalog over the course of a year or 2 years. And yes, you'll say, hey, you said that in episode 4, or you said that in episode 6, Sedge. But sometimes people don't go back and watch, or they don't remember these little tips. We call them the aha moments in training. We're gonna do stuff on the Rotex, we're gonna do stuff on the Trexler, and we're gonna do some really cool stuff with the domino. In other words, people reach out to us, to me as well, and ask these questions, and I was like, wow, I thought everybody knew this, and I just don't want to keep referring back and forth to Festool Live, so I always answer. Okay, away we go. Let's start with the Rotex system over here. And I see people have difficulties, or they tell me they have difficulties, and this was out in, I think in Austin. Somebody says, I have a tough time taking my Rotex pads off and switching them. Okay, and this is gonna be a simple tip. But if we come over here first to the RO150, okay? This has always killed me because we've done tons of videos, whether me, Garrett, or Brent, or whoever. We've always done videos on changing the pad on the RO150, okay? And someone will actually send this in, and I go, I can't take the pad off, it keeps spinning, right? But if it has to be in Rotex mode, that locks the arbor, that's that pin drop in it to put it in Rotex. The other thing is this little tab right here. It's got an arrow right here. Chris, can you get that? Mm-hmm. Okay, so what you do is you push it up and in, and you just spin the pad right off. It is that easy. And just hold it when you switch a pad and put it on, just like that. Full rotation on. Now, the RO125, the 5-inch pad's a little bit different. I'm gonna take off the protector right here. And if we look at this tab, let me put it in Rotex just to make sure it is. This tab here has a little arrow. Oh, hopefully you can see that. And what you do is you push it. Let's get in here so you can see that. You push it, see how I can't push it in? You have to push it over and then in, and that pad spins right off. Now, the next one is the RO90. And I just did a quick Festool Sedge tip on this. And people were reaching out saying, I never knew that. And I've had this for 5-6 years. Okay, it's easy to change the pad on here. You have the 3 modes. You have what? Random orbit. You have Rotex. And then, see that right there? That is the triangle pad that comes with it, that one there. I showed you in the Lost in the Catalog, this one, which is the extension one, doesn't come with it, but it lets you get under toe kicks with it or to do louvered doors with it. That's a great accessory. But you just change the pad like that. But everybody, and you put the, what? The detail pad on. Oh, the other way, Sedge, like this. And that's what everybody does. But the difference between the 150, the 125, and the 90, and I'm going to take this pad off again, okay, and put this pad on. It's a 3-mode sander. You have, and I'm just going to show you really quick, you have random orbit, you have Rotex, which is wicked powerful, and when I put this on and take this, which is known as a dust extractor, this was tough to choose which group of tools I'm going to cover a top tip in. But when I put this in, see how I put these lines on here? It's an orbital sander. Look. Okay? So it's a fine, fine finish sander. Whew, boy, I could go on and on, but I'm going to put this up, and I'm going to take it, lock it in, and here's a detail pad. Okay, this is a huge aha moment when I show people this. When you sand and do detail with this, you're going to be up on that tip. And we've made the pad equal, the paper equilateral. See that right there? So now, when that wears, you can, because you're always standing on the tip the majority of the time, you can rotate it and use the entire abrasive. Now, what happens when you do that? That area will wear out, the stick fix hook and loop. So what people don't know is that little snap, you can rotate that so all your hook and loop or your stick fix hooks stay locked in on your loops. And that's really cool. And yes, you can get replacements for those pads, and those come in a 2-pack. Woohoo! Let's go over to the track saws. Minnie, you love that, don't you?
I do.
You do, okay. Cool. All right. This tip, I love teaching people this because Brent and I had a class here about 4 or 5 years ago with a bunch of flooring guys. And we started talking about this. It's known as a limit stop. And they were like blown away because they had been using these tracks and track saws to put inlay strips or cut into the flooring, plunge cutting. And they had no idea what this was. So let me go through it. I use it sometimes. You guys have seen this. I use it as a gauge block when I'm straight line ripping a piece. But let's make a plunge cut. And let me just lay this out for us so you can see this. Yes, we've covered plunge cutting, but I'm just going to put a point A to B, and that's where we want to plunge cut. So if I do the setup like this, I'm going to bring my rail in. And when you're plunge cutting, I always try to clamp the rail. Okay, that's why we make the Gecko suction cup clamp for the rail when you're clamping it to a floor. You don't have this edge here to clamp to. That's why we have that. So let's do the setup here. And if I started this saw and started to plunge cut, it would want to lift up. It's dangerous. So these guys were telling their students, make sure you hold on to it because it wants to kick. No, if we look at this, see that little ledge right there? Come back here, Chris, so we can get this. See this right here? When I slip this on or into this back part of the rail, it holds it like this so it keeps it from lifting when I plunge cut. It's a really safe system. So I'm going to take my saw. You can review plunge cutting in one of the track saw videos. It was Festool Lives early on. But I'm just going to do a quick one with us. See this line right here? When you have the TS55 in the full depth, which I just brought all the way down, that line comes into play. That's my entrance point. So I'll take that and bring it over. What I suggest to everybody when they buy a track saw, get an extra one of these, okay? Because what this does, it just acts as a stop. And as I set this up, I'm gonna bring this down. And you see that line right there? I'll bring it right over here, line it up, and I have a stop. Now I don't even have to think about it, do I? So let's get set up here. I'm gonna bring this over here, grab my hose. I'm gonna use this one. Sorry, Min Min.
No.
I'm gonna grab my connection. Just takes a couple of seconds. Boy, this is where I miss the cordless version. I should have set up the cordless version. But let me get a cord, let me get a plug-it cord. Oh, got one right here. And I'll plug right in.
That's so convenient.
Hey, Big D, did that come up? Minnie, we gotta get you a full mic on this stuff. You're adorable. All right, so we're just gonna take this over. I'm gonna plug in right here on the CT. All right, right down below. All right. Big D, can you hear me over the saw? Okay, always bring the saw at full speed. Look how precise that is. Okay, that is the Festool system, absolutely precise. Every time I do this, I freak out. Chris, get in here on this entrance point. That's why Festool, if you ask me. Cool. Excellent. Moving right along. Moving right along. Okay, here we go. Let's talk about the domino. I started to review some of the domino lives. I was like, I don't know if I ever talked about this, but let's try this. I know I talked about the first one. Putting this, say you're doing a fixed shelf. Okay, but I want to talk about, oh God, daggone it, I get these questions all the time. And it's about the offset. It's about a reference point on the dominoes. This is the base right here, okay? And I'd like to define both dominoes the same way. This is known as the plate, okay? See how I labeled it base? This one's called the plate. So what I want to do is I want to use the base as one of my reference points instead of the plate. So I'm just going to open it up like this. The next thing I'm going to do is tell you on the XL, the distance from the base to the center is 15 millimeters. On the 500, it's 10 millimeters. So when you're building stuff, and you're building case goods or whatever, this is 18 millimeter plywood. What's half of 18 is 9. The domino doesn't have to be exactly in the center, as long as you reference the machine on the same faces that you need to reference. In the past, we've always referenced the plate on everything, but now I'm gonna reference the base, that 10 millimeters. And it's really simple. I'm gonna use these, they're called the flaps, okay? On the XL, we have the pins. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to label my boards. This is my fixed shelf. I'll label shelf. Okay. Minnie, how you spell shelf?
S-H-E-L.
F? Okay, good. Elf? Okay, and this is the top. Wow!
Happy Friday!
Happy Friday, everybody! Woo! And no, I have not started to celebrate Cinco de Mayo. But boy, come on, 1 o'clock, baby. All right, there we go. All right, good. Hey, can I say a congratulations to somebody?
Yes.
Young man, I'm hoping you're watching. Congratulations. Daniel Garcia graduated as a nurse last night, and he's my grandson. I am so
Yay, Daddy!
proud of you. You're the light of my eyes. All right, so there we go. Woo! Woo! All right, so this is the top of the shelf, so I always label top. Cool. I get to see him next week when he walks the big stage. Oh, okay, so this is the top of the shelf. That's my top line. So if we always reference this, Chris, I want you, Big D, do you have that camera going? Can you get down here and show this? I'm gonna bring, see this is my top, and that's the top. I'm gonna bring the top to the top. See how I'm bringing that line in? Okay, and I'm gonna find a couple holes to clamp with. I love these clamps, they're the best. Hey, you wanna know another tip we teach in Festool training classes is how to actually use these clamps. When you put them in, I used to see people struggle, including myself, go like this and struggle with it. You don't have to. Put your finger back here, lock it in, hold it, and you get full registration that way. Ba-boom. All right, let me get this hooked up. Oh, there it is. So I'm gonna do these all tight. I gotta remember I'm using a 5x30 domino. I gotta set my plunge depth. Minnie, what's half of 30?
15.
Yeah, baby. I'm gonna take it like that. Bring it in like this. Woo! I hope you all do this at home. When you go and set up a tool, especially the domino, I like to double check everything. Like, okay, I'm gonna do it in tight. My power's off before I hook my plug-in cord. I check my plunge depth. And if I'm using a plate, I check my gauge. Always label your work and always be safe. So what I'm gonna do, this is my shelf. See that flap? I'm just gonna put 2 in this, and then I'm gonna take this. Hey guys, you know what would help? As if I had dominoes. I got them. I know where I can get plenty too. So I'm going to take this like this. These are 5x30s. Get that in there like that. Like that. Top to top. I do not care how many times I do this. I still get jazzed at that. Like I still get jazzed at that TS55 going point to point on the plunge cut. It is so daggone safe. Okay, we're doing good on time. I got a couple more things set up because this is the one that I think gets missing no matter how many times we show this tip. Oh, here's another tip. Make sure, definitely make sure you always have a pair of pliers to take the domino out. Hey, and guess what? They should always be Festool pliers. Okay. I think so, Minnie. There we go. Okay, next. This is one of my favorites. go. We got, hi! Wow, you almost caught me. I was taking a little power nap. Okay. All right, so I think everybody can see this. Chris, come in here so we get this. You see this line here? That's the center on the cursor, right? You know we can get it here. Chris, come over here. And you know we can get it over here, right? But the one that befuddles everybody is how do I grab this on center? So if we look on the machine at this point, you see these two little pieces right here? Those are precision ground. And I can tell you right now, from here to here is 10 millimeters, but it helps you. That's an unbelievable reference point that a lot of people don't know about their Domino 500. That's 10 millimeters up. So that's exactly, when I lay it out on this line, the center. Now on the XL, stay right here. We know it's 15 millimeters, right? The center line is scribed right here on the machine. You'll see it's exactly in line with the pins. And you can do the exact same thing with the XL on thicker material. See the little line right there? Cool. And it's 15 millimeters. So 10, the 500's 10, the XL or the 700 is 15 from the base to the center. But this little ground spot right here allows me to do this. I could take it, I'll get my vertical axis and my horizontal axis lined up. Okay, remember, another tip, I learned this from Greg Polini. When I turn this machine on, I always pinch it on, I don't press it on. It's nice and safe. Exactly in the middle. So that's how you do it. Cool. And that is good. All right. Minnie, am I missing the coronation right now?
Tomorrow.
Oh, it's tomorrow. It's King Charles tomorrow. Okay, good. Whew, I forgot if it was today or tomorrow. All right. Minnie's always adding stuff on the board for me. She's unbelievable. Okay, one more. Just one more. And I don't want to, the guys were saying, don't give them too much all at once. But you know what? This is a fun one. This is the one I get probably the most. How do you square up the MFT? Or make sure you put your, I'm going to take this out of here. We were cutting this week, Chris and I, some angles. I know these were dead on. And how did he asked me, how do you know that's exactly 22 and a half? I go, but because when I set this up every single time, I start from 0, making sure it's in 0. This is loose. This is my rail clamp. This is open. This is tight. Wait a minute. This is tight and this is tight. I know that's locked down. And on my MFT3, I know that that pin is secure in the rail. I'm just going to bring it down a little. Nice and easy. And I'm going to take this and I'll take a square, make sure I'm in the pin, and I'll bring it in. And it's exactly 90. But what if it wasn't? And that's the key. So there's a couple things I do. I make sure that that pin is in the hole, and I press down because you want to make sure it's bottomed out. I will take a 5 millimeter hex key and loosen these 2 points, just like this. I just take the tension off. So if I hold this, look, I'm still in 0. See the movement I got? That's how you square the angle unit to the rail with the fence. So if I bring that in, I always bring it in like this, and I bring it in, and then I tighten it up. Excuse me. But here's the problem. Chris, it's these. I'm using these, my eyes. Okay? I want to take myself out of this calibration. And the easiest way I have found, and I've taught this for 16 years, because my friend Les from Allison Transmission showed me this. I saw him in a class using Post-it notes, and I was blown away. What I like to do is take the Post-it note and bring it in here, and then bring it in here. And I know if this tongue here is good here, And this one is here. I don't have to use my eyes. I have to use this. These are basically feeler gauges. And then what I do is I come over here. I lock it down first, and then I tighten it right here, just like that. And then I bring this over. I'm still in the pin, right? Boom, boom. And guess what? Bada bing. Tighten it up. Now, when I take this scale and bring it to 22.5, it's dead on. Cool? Now, there's one recommendation over the years, because I caught a few people doing it like this. Make sure, see that on that Post-it note? That sticky note is not down like that. Okay? Okay, make sure you use the smooth side. Whoop, 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 whoop. Good. Wow. That's normal length right there, everybody. So, how's everybody doing? Everybody getting ready for a weekend? I'm going to tell you right now. Last weekend it rained all weekend here in Indiana. Wow, did we get a lot of rain. And I cannot believe how beautiful spring is turning out today, and tomorrow's supposed to be nice. So we're really excited. We're ready for a great, great weekend. And Minnie, I think I'm going to start calling everybody off.
Slowly.
Slowly, still.
Sure,
Wow.
so ahead of me, and I'm
Do you know last week the person on the board only had one list?
He was wrong.
No, no. Okay.
Tiny, tiny.
Hey, let's call them out. Joe from Waseca, Illinois. Mike M. from Austin, Texas. Rob from South Devon, England. Michelle from Paris, France. Yizu from Paramaribo, Suriname. Soren from Denmark. Christopher from Malta. You're always there, brother. Joey from Orange Grove, Texas. Al from Doria, Pennsylvania. Peter from Melbourne, Australia. Woo! Andy from Enfield, Connecticut. It's Dirk from Dayton. We're going to get him in here. Okay, Stuart from Leicester, UK. Jacob from Rhode Island. Andrew from Toledo, Ohio. Richard from Newcastle upon Tyne, UK. Michael from Edmonton. Gary from Beers with the Boys. How are you? It's the governor. You're awesome. Roll from the Netherlands. Joseph from Bellevue, Nebraska. Dave from Rio Rancho, New Mexico. I know who you are. Mac from the Netherlands. Dan from Kingman, Arizona. Johnny-O from Atco, New Jersey. Jeff from Clacksburg, Maryland. Warren from Caldwell, Idaho. We have Monty from Canton, Connecticut. Warren from Batavia, Ohio. Dominic from Dedham, Mass. George from Tallinn, Estonia. Tommy Boy from Moorhead, North Carolina. God, that was a good movie.
It was.
Is it really? Oh my God. David from Israel. The Paris family. The Paris family from Anthem, Arizona. We have MM from Huntington Beach, California. We have Doug from Mystic, Connecticut. We have Carrie from Dallas, Texas. Stay right where you are, Chris. Holy macanoles, there are a lot of names. We have Jurgen from the Netherlands. Matt from Newark, Ohio. Russ from Chichester. How are you, Russ? We have Anu from, oh boy, Minnie. Waligowicz.
That's new.
Walwich. Wow. I'm going to go look that one up, I promise. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. Ernesto from San Francisco, California. John from Dallas, Fort Worth, Metroplex. Joe, how are you, Joe from Akron, Ohio. Jason from Fenton, Michigan. Sam from Tucson, Arizona. Thomas from Chicago. Gregory from Cape Cod. We have Aquinetto from London, UK. Dale from Swaddlincote, England. We have Nick from Katy, Texas. Dave and Gwen. It's Gwen from West Virginia. We have the Warp Woodsman. I know where you guys are. You're out in that Portland area. Leo, oh, that's where we met you. Leo from Holland. Tim from Brevard, North Carolina. Brian from Northside, Grand Cayman. We have Hank, birthday dude. We have Tracy and Lisa from Houston, Texas. Mitch from Silverdale, Washington. Frank from Downers Grove, Illinois. Anthony from Staten Island. Derek the Shiggy from Los Angeles. Dr. Davenport from Las Vegas. How are you, doctor? We have Tony from Bedford, England. We have Joshua from Sun City Center, Florida. We have Gail from Eden, New York. We have Des Des from Harrogate, England. Never missed an episode. Des, thank you so much. We have, you know what? I haven't missed an episode either.
Yay!
Wow! We have Apo from Aka, Finland. We have Blake Weber from Novato, California. Ed from Elk Woodworking, Georgia. We have Oliver. I met him. I met Oliver. At Cerritos College. Yep, from Southern California. We have Andy from Mississauga, Ontario. Mini spin that board around.
Oh, yep.
Oh my God, I thought it was only, wow. Oh, we have Kenneth. This is awesome from Oak Park, Florida. Oliver, another Oliver, but he's from the French Alps.
That's actually Illinois. Oak Park, Illinois.
Oak Park, Illinois.
You're Garrett now, aren't you?
Yeah, no, did I say Illinois?
No, you said Florida.
I'm sorry, Kenneth from Oak Park, Illinois. I've been there. Rick from sunny Blackpool, UK. Doug from Zville. I know Doug from Zionsville. David from Southwest France. David from Owings Mills, Maryland. Tony from Noblesville, Indiana. Merlin from Walla Walla. Bert from Amsterdam. Cool Down 84 from Baratwil, Switzerland. Wicked cool. Aronzo from Mississauga. Kurt from Rochester, Michigan. Barrio Woodworks from Chula Vista, California. Steve from Trevose, Pennsylvania. Greg from Holyport, UK. Ryan from Cruising. It's Ryan from Cruising the Caribbean?
Yeah.
Oh, just throw it at us. Norman from Huntington Beach, California. Keith from St. Charles, Illinois. John from Port St. Lucie, Florida. Robert from New York City. Paul from Reading, Berkshire, UK. Chad and Colton from South Whitley, Indiana. I'm going to be up in your neck of the woods in June. Dan from Whiteston, New Jersey. Thailand first.
Thailand.
But is that the first we had in Thailand?
Second.
Second,
I
okay.
think it might be
Welcome back.
second.
Woohoo! We have Alvin from Riverside, California. Harry from La Mirada, California. Evan from Rhode Island. Mike from Mercedes, California. B-Dub from Northwest Arkansas. Terry from Utah. Jeff from Raymond, Maine. Tim from Livingston, New Jersey. Alvin from California. Greg from New Mexico. You still writing?
I am. I have.
We have this guy, Kozolasinski from Poland. How's that? We have somebody from Poland.
Did you get the note that Colton left for you?
Yes, I did. I got the Colton. Yeah, Colton, I know. I called it out, I think, Minnie, last time.
Okay.
Thank you for leaving a note while you were here. All right. Woo! Guess what time it is? Are you okay, Min?
I'm good. I hope that didn't pick up.
Woo! It's time to wrap this up. Episode 125 is a wrap. We want to tell you, everybody, we say it every time, we love you from our hearts. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to say, hey, Des, thank you so much. I call your name out every episode. Thanks for being there, though, for every episode. We really appreciate it. A lot of you have, and it means a lot to us. We got a lot planned for the rest of the year. When we get back, we got some new products hitting, and I'll be able to do some new product training with you. So stay tuned, hang in there. We're going to keep this train rolling. So, other than that, happy Cinco de Mayo. Happy birthday to Matt. Happy birthday to Hank, the main man. And that's a wrap. So we'll have a great weekend.